Yes, we are on.
Okay, I'm going to call this meeting of the public school retirement system to order. We're going to start off with roll call.
Angie Banks,
Here.
Christina Bennett,
Present.
Joe Clark, Darnetta Clinkscale,
Here.
Lewis Cross,
Here.
Sheila Goodwin, Donna Jones,
Here.
Yvette Levy,
Here.
Bobby Richardson,
Here.
Albert Sanders, Justin Stein, and you have 7, Mr. Chairman.
Okay. Well, I'll move on to the approval of the minutes of the last meeting, tab 1, June the 22nd, 2020. Is there a motion?
I make a motion to approve the minutes
Second.
from June 22nd, 2020.
Who said, was that Darnetta?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Okay, we'll move on to reading of communications to the Board of Trustees. Andrew?
Mr. Chairman, there are none.
Okay, we'll move on to presentations by interested parties.
And I checked we have a mailbox now for that purpose, if anybody shows an interest. And
Yes.
we didn't have any, so there's none.
Okay. Consent agenda, approval of retirement and benefits July and August 2020. Can I have a motion?
I'd like to make a motion for the approval of retirement and benefits July and August 2020.
Is there a second?
Second,
Second.
Christina.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Okay, then we're going to get the approval of refunds and bills for June and July 2020. Is there a motion?
I make a motion to approve refund distributions paid for June and July 2020.
A second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. That's approved. Okay, we're gonna move on to unfinished business.
I don't have any, sir.
Okay, report of the chairperson. That would be me. And the report that we have is basically we are looking into the interviews tomorrow, August the 18th, to select a person to fill the seat that Andrew Clark is exiting. And so we're still in that process, and we'll do that tomorrow. And I think that is basically the biggest thing that we have going right at this point.
Is that it, sir? Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So are you ready to move on to me?
Yes, we can move on to the report of the executive director.
I have 2 items. The first item is the annual presentation of the renewal by our insurance consultant, Pat Harridan. And let me get our shared document up here. And bear with me one moment. We'll get it on a full screen view, Pat. So let her rip, and you let me know when you need to advance, okay?
Yes, thank you, Andrew. Good afternoon, everyone. If you have trouble with my audio, Andrew, let me know. But if you can just go to the next slide for the agenda.
Yep.
Thank you. So just a brief presentation on the 2021 renewals, but I typically start, if there are any new trustees, with a review of our current situation, so people understand our enrollments, who's enrolled in what plans, and then a summary of the plans that we offer, which is medical, dental, vision. I'll give a quick overview, but I think Dawn can answer some questions on how we're going to conduct open enrollment in the fall for 2021, and then any general questions before the motions. Next one, Andrew. So again, for new trustees, for people that don't know what our firm, myself, does, the insurance consultant, these are the tasks that we do annually, and the primary task that we do is what we're talking about today, which is help manage the vendors, help Dawn and Andrew manage the vendors, and present the renewals. The other thing that we do, which is very important, is we coordinate with SLPS because they offer a couple of plans that our retirees are eligible for, and they have a different consultant and a different timeline, so we need to coordinate with them. And again, helping Dawn throughout the year and with open enrollment. Next one. So to keep our dates clear, because it's been hard this year. So just a quick review of the renewal that we're in now, the 2020 year. We go by a calendar year. So just to give people a level set of where we are today. So in 2019, for 2020, SLPS did a full RFP for all their benefit plans, but they didn't make any changes to them. They just kept the same vendors, but they were able to negotiate rates, I think, a little bit more favorable. So our retirees weren't impacted that much by the SLPS process, the plans they're in this year. For us, we offer 3 UHC Medicare plans, and we, again, for probably the second year in a row, we didn't have any rate increase. And even though the health insurance tax, which is the Obamacare or the ACA tax, that came back in 2020. So for those of you that were here, you remember for our 2019 calendar year, we got a big decrease in our rates. And then we told everyone, both at the board meeting and the open enrollment meetings, that, hey, this is only a temporary thing, but it actually went away for 2021, which was great. But for 2020, it came back, but we were able to hold our rates at that much lower level. So we had a good year in 2020, no plan design changes, and the rates did not change either for the Medicare plans. Next, Andrew. And then for us, for the retirement system, we have a dental plan with MetLife. We had a rate guarantee that we negotiated when we did an RFP back in 2018. So there was no change to the rates or plan designs. And same with the vision plan, there was no change to the rates or plan designs for 2020. So for the renewal year that we're currently in, there was no real change to any of the rates, and the plan designs did not change for the retirement system plans. Next. Just to give you a sense of how many retirees we have in the various plans, as of June, these are the 2 plans that our retirees participate in that are offered by SLPS. So we've got a base and a buy-up is what we call the plans. And we have retirees who do have Medicare, retirees that don't, and those are the subscriber counts in the columns there. What you will notice is, for the most part, it's going down, and that's a good thing because we want our retirees that have Medicare to participate in the retirement system plans. For the most part, they're cheaper, and for the most part, they provide better benefits. So that's been a trend throughout the last 4 or 5 years, in that we've had more people leave the SLPS plans and go to the retirement system plans. Next. And then for the plans that we offer on the medical and dental side, we offer 3 plans through UHC, a high, low, and a gold. We have the most people in the gold plan, which is a 0 premium for them, 0 premium plan. But the distribution is pretty even, and it's actually gone up a bit in most cases, again, coming from the SLPS plans. And then we've got pretty good participation in our dental plans. They're, as you'll see in a minute, they are very widely utilized, and we have good participation. Next, Andrew. So for 2021, so for 1/1/2021, initially when I did the presentation, SLPS was going to do a full RFP again, even though they had done one in 2019 for 2020, and there was going to be a timing issue. However, they've decided not to do a full RFP, which is good news for our retirees because the vendors won't change. The only thing they have to do is set the rates. And they have not had a chance to meet with the unions and then meet with the Board of Ed to set those rates. And this happens occasionally in this process. So we don't have their rates for those two plans, and we won't have them until mid-September when the Board of Ed votes on them. But again, good news is the vendors won't change. For our plans for the renewal for 2021, premium rates on the UHC Medicare plans are increasing 3%. And again, this is the first increase in several years after a big decrease in 2019. And just a refresher, we did receive a rate decrease when the health insurance tax went away, and then we never got an increase when it came back. So that's going away, but the CMS funding for these plans is going to change, partly due to COVID, partly due to some other things. So we weren't able to negotiate it away. So a 3% increase you'll see in a minute, or if you have it in your packet on the rate sheets. For people in the gold plan, there's no impact because it's a zero premium, but it's about $3 a month for a retiree in the low plan and about $6 a month for a retiree in the high plan. That's what 3% equates to. Next one, Andrew. And if you recall from my 2020 review, the dental plan with MetLife was in the final year. So now we've got renewal. It's actually the experience is not great in this plan because when we did the RFP process 2 years ago, we actually got a decrease for 2 years. So we got the equivalent of a 6% decrease for the last 2 years. So even with our increase this year, so we had an initial 9.5, we negotiated it down to 6.5. We're back to where we were pre-RFP in 2018. And just as an aside, our experience on the dental plan, especially on the low plan, if it was rated on its own, just based on experience, would be about a 20% increase. So there is some very heavy utilization in the dental plan. So MetLife is helping us out here by giving us a 6. We may have to do another RFP next year if the experience doesn't get better, or if Met isn't willing to help us out on the rates. So again, even with the 6.5 rate increase, we're back to where we were almost 3 years ago. And again, the rates are very low relative to medical, so 6.5. It has an impact to the rates, but not a double-digit one. And then the vision rates are still in a rate guarantee until 2023, so they're not going to change at all for the next couple of years.
Hey, Pat, this is Christina.
Yes.
Can you tell me the dollar amount increase in the dental plan? I know it's 6.5%, but what does that equate for retirees in dollars?
Yeah, I'll at the end, Andrew will put up the rate sheet,
Yeah.
but just to give you a sense, that was Christina, right? I'm sorry. Christina, on the low plan, for a retiree, it's worth about $1, and on the high plan, it's worth about $2 a month. That's what 6.5% on those rates equates to for a single retiree. Does that answer the question? If it didn't, just let me know when we get to the end.
Thank you.
Okay, thanks, Christina. Sorry about that. Next one, Andrew. So again, just I'll give a quick overview, and then if you've got questions, I think Don can help answer as well. So normally for the trustees that have been here, we do a 2-day, 4-session open enrollment meeting. But again, due to COVID, we won't be doing that. We're going to have videotaped vendor presentations, which are going to be exactly the same as what they would have done. And again, mail, email, fax. We're going to figure out how to get the forms. The good news is, since not a lot is changing, people don't, historically when things don't change, people don't move around as much, so we don't have a lot of forms. But we do want people to at least evaluate every year, especially if they're on the SLPS plans and eligible for our plans. So again, we won't have in-person meetings, but we'll do it virtually. Next one, Andrew.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you. So they're going to do, so we've got our plans, which are, the United, again, the gold, low, and high. We've got the Express Scripts, which is the SLPS plans as well. And that's important. That's the drug vendor. And that's where people will get some tips and what to do on how to look up their drugs and see what plan covers what drugs and how. So the drug piece is good. And then we'll also have someone talk about the dental plans, just the differences between the high and low. We've never had anyone come in and talk from the vision vendor about the vision plan. So it's primarily the medical where people like to get the education. So we'll have those, once SLPS finalizes their plans, then we'll have those done. Next one, Andrew, or last one, I think. Yes, and obviously Dawn will be remotely available to help with their open enrollment needs. And again, they can complete and submit their enrollment or change forms. And Dawn, I don't know if you've decided on dates yet. That was the one thing I didn't know.
Dates for ending open enrollment?
Yeah.
Well, I haven't gotten anything back from United Healthcare on that. But generally they like to get everything in by December 1st, because then they need to meet their Medicare deadlines to mail out the cards. So, So I think that's still going to fall around November 27th will be the end of it, I believe.
And it starts, Don, when does it start? Is it the 1st of October or the 10th, or I can't remember when we generally start?
Usually I put November 1st, but this
okay,
year,
yes. Right.
But this last year I didn't start getting calls until then. And right now I just feel like I'm going to put in there upon receipt of materials for the start.
Okay. I think that makes sense. We've got to be a little bit more flexible, I think.
Yeah, I think so too. I want to give myself time to handle all these phone calls.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
This is frustrating. I can't do this.
Any other questions on the renewal
That's your
or
problem.
open
You
enrollment?
have too much stuff going on. You have to learn, because I can't.
Someone needs to put themselves on mute. We can hear your personal call.
Lewis, if you're trying to speak, Lewis, I think you're on mute.
I was just saying somebody needed to mute that. They were having a side conversation, but we're okay now, I think. Okay.
Do you want me to, hey, Pat, do you want me to go to I think the next page are wait, where are there they are.
Right there.
Did you want me to go back to the questions, or do you want to go
No,
move on to this?
I wanted, if anyone had any questions before the motions.
Does anyone have any questions?
I think that, Pat, in this environment that we're in, I'd like to thank you and Don both for keeping these rates under control and negotiating down with, when they could seriously raise those rates higher if they wanted to. with the dental especially. So thank you much. I think it looks great. No surprises for me. I can, the rate sheet is not complete because we don't know the UHC SLPS site. We have it if you would like to see it, but if I stop sharing this, I have to go back and bring it back up, and it's a little bit more difficult. So what would the board like me to do? Do you want to see the rate sheet now?
Andrew, is that a solid rate sheet, or is that
It's a draft.
Right, because that's contingent upon what SLPS does for the
That's
regular
right.
employees, right?
Yes.
So what's the pleasure of the trustees? You all want to see it?
I would prefer not to see it because then I will get confused and with what's draft and what's final to be
Okay.
able to relate anything. That's just my
Oh.
personal opinion.
Okay, are there any trustees that would like to see the draft of the tentative rate sheet?
What's the question? I don't know. Don't ask me nothing, because this is not working.
Okay, is there anybody for the last time, any trustee that would like to see the tentative worksheet? Okay, then we'll move on.
I'd like to make a motion to adopt the insurance renewals for the medical plans offered by SLPS that our retirement members are eligible for, subject to approval by the SLPS Board of Education.
Is there a second?
Second,
Who is that?
Donna.
Thank Donna. Thank you, Donna.
All in favor?
No, you got it. Why don't we do a roll call?
We have to do a roll call, that's right. Okay,
Okay.
roll call vote.
All righty. Angie Banks,
Yes.
Christina Bennett,
Yes.
Darnetta Clinkscale,
Yes.
Lewis Cross.
Yes.
Is Sheila Goodwin here now?
She called me and I gave her the information.
Okay. I don't hear her.
I don't
Donna
hear her either.
Jones,
Yes.
Yvette Levy,
Yes.
Bobby Richardson,
Yes.
Albert Sanders.
Yes.
Is Justin Stein here?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. 1, 2, 3. And,
Okay.
you have 9 yeses.
Okay, so it passes.
Yep.
So we can move on, Andrew, to the next report of the actuary.
No, I'm sorry. We have to make a motion to adopt the insurance renewals for the United Healthcare PPO High, Low, and Gold Medicare options. Sorry, my mom's.
Oh, I'm sorry.
The
Okay. Oh, I
MetLife
see.
Dental PPO
Okay.
High
So
and
you-
Low options, and the VBA Vision Plan renewal as presented by the insurance consultant.
Was that a motion?
Yes,
Yes.
it was.
Do
A
I get a- Can I
second.
get a second?
Second.
Okay, Bobby, gotcha.
All right, we do a roll call.
Yes.
Okay, roll call.
Angie Banks,
Yes.
Christina Bennett,
Yes.
Darnetta Clinkscale,
Yes.
Lewis Cross,
Yes.
Donna Jones,
Yes.
Yvette Levy,
Yes.
Bobby Richardson,
Yes.
Albert Sanders,
Yes.
Justin Stein,
Yes.
and you have 9.
Okay, so that's been approved. So is there anything else that we have to have a motion on, or can we move on to the report of the actuary?
Actually, I'm not through, Lewis.
Okay,
We're still in the executive director report.
okay,
So I have one item. First off, I want to thank the trustees for having faith in me at the beginning of my tenure here 15 years ago, and for giving me the opportunity to serve our membership and the board, and work with our vendors, our investment consultant, all the investment managers. It's been a real pleasure. With that being said, I think it's been mentioned, and it's no secret because we are in the middle of a search for a new executive director. But my intent is to retire on September 30th of 2020 with my retirement effective date, where the benefits start, being October 1. So I just wanted to formally announce that in a regular board meeting. And once we get closer to knowing who the new executive director is going to be, and by the end of August, I will put a formal intent to retire on file, so the trustees have that on file as well. But thank you again, everybody. This is my last board meeting, regular board meeting with the trustees and everybody who watches us and has been following us all these years. I really appreciate it. Thank you.
And we appreciate you as well, Andrew. You have been a godsend to our retirement system.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I appreciate that.
Andrew, I
Andrew,
want to
you've
say,
done a wonderful job, and congratulations on your retirement.
Thank you, Yvette.
Andrew, it's been a roller coaster, wonderful ride with you for the last 15 years, and I wish you the best in retirement. I know you will enjoy it.
Thank you, Christina.
Andrew, I know you for
thank you for all the things that you've done for us and just being so timely and thorough with whatever it is that you're doing. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Darnetta.
Andrew, I've known you for a whole 6 months. but hey, from everybody else and what they say about you and what I just learned in these few months that I have known you, that it is going to be, it's amazing. And I hope somebody can come close to do what you have done for the retirement board and for us in general.
Thanks, Al.
Andrew,
Andrew. Andrew.
I hope you enjoy your retirement. Thanks.
Thank you, Justin.
Andrew, you will be missed, and I really enjoy you and appreciate you. And I'd like to say congratulations too on your retirement.
Thanks, Bobby.
I'd like to say congratulations as well, and thank you so much for all the years of your service. We really appreciate you. Thank you.
Thanks, Donna.
Ditto times 100.
Yeah.
Thank you, Angie. It's been a pleasure, everybody.
Okay. Is there anything else, Andrew, before I move on to the next item?
That's my last item in a regular meeting.
Okay. Do we have a report for the actuary? Okay, Pat.
Actually, the
Bye,
investment.
bye guys.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Stay
Bye-bye.
safe, everyone.
Thank
Bye,
you.
guys.
Thank you.
Stay
Louis,
safe.
the item before that is the investment consultant, but as usual, there isn't one.
Oh, I'm sorry. I did miss that. Okay. So then no report from the investment consultant, then I'll move on to the actuary. Is there a report?
Well, he's obviously not here. There is not a report, but as usual this month, I just need to say that they really stepped up to the plate and got the annual benefits statements mailed out to our active members and our deferred members who are entitled to a retirement at some point, like 2 weeks early. And so I don't know if any of the active folks have received their statements yet, but you should be anytime. And it's about 2.5 weeks early this year. So that I really wanted to point that out. If he's up in Minneapolis and sometimes he has a conflict with our board meetings. That's just the way things are these days. But he wanted me to tell you all hello and that he plans to be here soon.
Okay. So I'll move on to the report of the committee's benefits. Donna Jones.
None
Well,
at this.
I'm sorry, Donna.
I don't have a report at this time.
Well, the insurance presentation was fantastic, Donna, and I want to thank you for your hard work on that. Trustee business, Darnetta Cleanscale.
Nothing to report at this time.
Okay. Investments, Christina Bennett.
So we will not have our regularly scheduled board investment meeting this week. We have pushed it off until next month. You should have received an email from Kristen Finney-Cook that had our reports that she would have shared with us this week. If you did not, I will send those out to everyone, or I'll have Andrew send them out to everyone today or tomorrow if possible. And in our meeting, we were scheduled to have a trustee training, which was on private equity. That has been postponed as well to next month. So we're just pushing that out 1 month due to the multiple meetings that we have scheduled this week. So I thank you for your understanding.
Okay, so are we gonna just ask Andrew to send that out to everyone, or has everyone received that?
I don't think so, Louis. I believe they were the reviews of the at the end of June for
Okay.
the IPAs, but I will get those out. And I don't think there's going to be time at the September meeting with, I think Vista is going to be presenting, if I'm not mistaken.
Right.
So, with that presentation in September, I don't think there's going to be enough time. So I will be more than happy to send out the investment performance analysis for the second quarter as soon as tomorrow. I'll send them out tomorrow.
Thank you, Andrew.
You're welcome.
Okay. Legislative rules and regulations, Justin Stein.
I don't have any report. Nothing going on
Okay.
I'm aware of.
All right. Personnel and professional contracts, Yvette Levy.
We've already discussed that we are in the process of searching for an executive director. Again, thank you to Andrew for all of the work that he's done, and all of the minutes can be found under tab 3.
And
Okay.
that I'm trying to find what you'll need to do. It's under number 3 is to ask to do that under number 3 for the meeting tomorrow night.
Okay. Can you see that, Yvette?
That's tiny, but let's see. To close the next personnel and professional contract committee meeting, and that all records and votes to the extent permitted by law pertaining to and or resulting from the closed meeting be closed pursuant to R.S.M.O. 610.021 3 and 13 for the purpose of having a confidential or privileged communication with the executive director for the public school retirement system of the city of St. Louis on personnel matters.
Is that a motion?
I was
That's a
just gonna
motion.
say,
That's a
I
motion. Can I
second
get a
it.
second?
Darnetta seconds it.
Okay.
thank you. I was just about to say, I think after I read it, I realized it was a motion.
Okay. Do we have a roll call vote on that?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Angie Banks,
Yes.
Christina Bennett,
Yes.
Darnetta Clinkscale,
Yes.
Louis Cross,
Yes.
Sheila Goodwin.
Yes.
Was that
Yes.
Donna Jones,
Yes.
Yvette Levy,
Yes.
Bobby Richardson,
Yes.
Albert Sanders,
Yes.
and Justin Stein.
Yes.
And you have 10.
Great. Okay. I can move on to the next item, which is new business.
I don't have any, Mr. Chairman.
Okay. All right. And then we can go on to Matt with the attorney's report.
So at this time, this is the moment to move to close the meeting, and Andrew has the motion under number 4 there.
Okay.
To close the meeting. So if someone would like to make the motion.
Make a motion that we close the meeting and that all records and votes to the extent permitted by law pertaining to and or resulting from the closed meeting be closed under RSMO and 610.021 for the purpose of having a confidential and privileged communication with the legal counsel for the PSRS SLTL on legal matters.
Is there a second? Okay.
Who
Roll
is the
call vote.
second? Who is the second?
Justin.
Justin.
Thank you.
Roll call vote.
Angie Banks,
Yes.
Christina Bennett,
Yes.
Darnetta Clinkscale,
Yes.
Lewis Cross,
Yes.
Sheila Goodwin,
Yes.
Donna Jones,
Yes.
Yvette Levy,
Yes.
Bobby Richardson,
Yes.
Albert Sanders,
Yes.
and Justin Stein.
Yes.
And you have 10. So
Okay.
at this point, Mr. Chairman, I just want to thank everybody. Thanks everybody who tuned in and watched us live. We're going to go into a closed session now. And it's just for the attorney's report, and the adjournment will happen immediately following that, and it'll be noted in the meeting.